Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So is buzz haired Mahi back? I gotta get a haircut soon, but hopefully, alhamdulillah, everyone's doing well. Honestly, like I actually miss making these videos because it genuinely feels like I'm just talking to a bunch of people, even though I'm just staring at a camera right now. I really wish like everyone was here just like in front of me, but right now that's not the case. But it still feels like I'm talking with everyone here because in this video, I wanna talk about my mindsets when I go into like school in a couple of months. Like literally, I think less than a month, I'm going back to school, and I think most of you are also going back to school in less than a freaking month. So, as you know, I made a community post on this channel. I spoke about like my goal with this channel is to destroy mediocrity in the ummah, and that sounds like what does that mean? Let me explain. Okay, if you're new here. Pretty much, my goal is to destroy mediocrity. Anything that's keeping Muslims weak, purposeless, and specifically keeping Muslims down. Anything, okay, listen, there's one thing when people are destroying their lives and they don't care about destroying their lives, okay? There's many people in this world that live day to day, not wanting to change, not wanting to do anything. They're wasting every single bit of their lives. But there's some of us, like you probably, that watches these kinds of videos because you genuinely want to improve. You genuinely want to change and you want to make something of yourself. You don't want to leave this dunya without achieving anything. And more importantly, you don't want to leave this dunya being a waste. Being a waste. I think the biggest thing that's helping us change, it's helping me and you change with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the fact that we are living with shame every single day. You know when you wake up at 12 p.m. You know when you're getting up and you're wasting your life. First of all, you've wasted half your day, and then after that you're just like, again, scrolling. And I have many friends that tell me like scrolling is not even a big deal or whatever. I'm just telling them it is a big deal. It's not a big deal to you because you aren't seeing the consequences to your problems. You see, for me, scrolling was such, I hate scrolling. I genuinely hate doom scrolling to the T. For those that know me, you guys know that every single time I hear about scrolling or I see someone scrolling, I get pissed off because I'm just like, you're wasting your life away. Scrolling to me, it reminds me of weakness. When I look at scrolling, when I look at these habits, it reminds me of weakness. It reminds me of my weak self when I was there coming home from school and I was sitting on the bus and I was scrolling. I was sitting at home and I was scrolling. It would be 4 a.m. and I'm still scrolling. I'm scrolling my life away instead of making myself into something. I'm scrolling my life away instead of achieving something for my parents. I'm here wasting my energy, my time, my potential instead of being the best version of myself. And yet, I would scroll because I would try to escape the life I was living, right? I would scroll because I would try to escape my miseries. I would scroll because I would try to escape my 50%, literally 50%. I don't know if many of you know this, but the reason why I changed with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, the reason why I made the biggest change in my life was because of one night. Okay? That one night when my dad came in the room and he saw me sitting at 1 a.m. playing FIFA. My dad just came home from work and he was just looking at me playing FIFA at 1 a.m. Just to give you a disclaimer, I had school the next day. So it was 1 a.m. I had to wake up at 6 for school because I had to take the bus and then the train to university. And this was my first year of university. And it was 1 a.m. I was failing most of my classes. I recently just got like a 40 or 50 on my test, or I think like less than that on my test. And I was just playing FIFA again, trying to escape my miseries, trying to escape the miserable life I was living, trying to escape the miserable person I was. I was a miserable person. I was a person who should be shameful. I was a person who was destroying everything, under accomplishing everything, feeling behind in everything, and just felt like a waste. And my dad came in my room and he just looked at me, right? Normally he would tell me to go back to sleep or something, right? This time he just looked at me and didn't say a single word. And now the thing is like, akhi or ukhti, the thing is like, I read the face. I read the words of his face, if that makes sense. I read his face. What he was pretty much telling me is that, what kind of a son did I raise? You know, a son that I work overtime for. A son that I work all day for. A son that I've sacrificed my life, my happiness, my health for. And all he's doing is failing on his tests. At least do good on your test, right? And all this kid is doing is failing in his tests. Scrolling, playing video games all freaking day. Doing other bad sins and habits that I'm not going to go into. Rude to his parents. And frankly, just a waste of mass at this point. Of course, he didn't say that, but I can just read it off his face that he was genuinely disappointed in who I was. And I was genuinely disappointed in myself. You see, what causes someone to change is Allah gives someone a lot of pain. Okay? You'll notice that there's a lot of Muslims in this world, and I was one of them, who never prayed. Right? Who never prayed. But there's many of us that would hear the adhan and not even budge and not even move. Right? And that's just because we don't see the consequences of our issues. When you are slowly hearing about death, hearing about Jahannam, hearing about these punishments, hearing about, or even noticing that, yo, like I'm a Muslim and yeah, I'm not praying. I'm a Muslim and yeah, I'm just chasing this dunya, which is not even fulfilling me. When you're at the lowest of the low, when you've hit a depression, when someone breaks up with you, for example, astaghfirullah, I know, but when something bad happens to you and you're realizing that how am I living? What am I doing? That's what causes someone to change, right? So I always wondered this one question: how come there's some people in this world that never change, and there's some people who do change? And of course, it's with the qadr of Allah. But what does Allah do, right? Specifically, I don't know, because Allah can do whatever He wants. But one specific thing I've noticed is the fact that one person is in so much pain. Imagine two people in the exact same situation. One person is in so much pain. He hates the life he's living. He's not fulfilled. Nothing is filling his heart. And he needs to escape. He needs to move away. While the other guy is just living like that, and he's gonna rot to death. Enough of it. I know this is supposed to be a school video. I turned this into a freaking lecture. I'm sorry. But enough of saying, like, going back to the topic, I don't know how I got here, is this is how we need to look at things nowadays. This is a mindset that you need to adopt. And the mindset I'm going into this school year is exactly this. See, a lot of us, we look at discipline and we're just like, discipline is hard. Doing schoolwork is hard. Staying consistent is hard. And all you want to do is give yourself a break, and all you want to do is, just indulge a little. All you want to do is eat a bit of, junk food. All you want to do is, and, I have this friend. Shout out to my friend Zaid, right? May Allah bless him. He's rapidly improving. If you're watching this, Zaid, shout out to you. May Allah bless you, bro. But Zaid, my friend Zaid, right? I got him onto like self-development. I'm actually like helping him like stick to the gym, do the good habits. But one thing I've noticed about him is that he still looks at, I don't think anymore, but like a couple weeks ago, he would still look at like for example, he told me like, this one, I don't mean to expose Zaid, bro, but there's many. I used to be the same, where I would walk in the kitchen and I know that I'm supposed to eat healthy, but I still look at the bad food and I still eat that. Right? Like I'm seeing like a pizza in front of me, or I'm seeing a chocolate cake in front of me, and I would be the first person. I'm raising my hand up right now. I would be the first person to go and take that and eat that. 100%. So my friend Zaid was like, bro, I'm struggling with this, and like, and what you need to do in that situation, and what I try to tell him is that, what if you're a person who hated this, like who hated junk food so much because how much it made you feel bad, how much it destroyed your life, how much it destroyed your focus, how much it destroyed your mental health, and then would you look at that food the same? If someone betrayed you, if someone did something very wrong to you, and you just somehow can't forgive that person, would you go up to him all smiley and like hugging him, or like if you're a guy, if you're a girl, would you be hugging her, right? No. If someone did something wrong to you, you'd have this animosity towards it. You'd look at it with disgust. You would try to avoid them as much as possible, right? What if you can look at bad habits the same exact way? That's what happened to me with the qadr of Allah. I looked at 98% of bad habits. Like, a lot of bad habits. I just put a number out there. But like, especially junk food. You see, for me, cutting out junk food was very easy. Cutting out sugar was very easy because I looked at it with so much disgust. I looked at it as something that's literally keeping me depressed. Because you have to look at how this works, right? The reason why we are so lost, the reason why you are so down, the reason why you have no purpose, the reason why you are so distracted, and the thing is, like, your life is going bad, but you just don't know why. The reason why is because your mental health is so bad. It's because you've gotten to such a low of life where you think nothing's gonna happen, nothing's gonna work out. You're so down there, and all you want is just a way out, right? By continuously betraying yourself, Every single time you eat that sugar, you betray yourself. Every single time you eat that donut, you betray yourself. You betray yourself, you betray yourself until you look at yourself in the mirror and you're 10 pounds heavier. The reason why you can't focus on your task is because you keep eating junk food and bad food. The reason why you can't get yourself to work hard is because you've been so used to comfort by eating junk food. You see, all junk food is comfort. And all comfort does is destroy your life. All comfort does is keep you the same. All comfort does is keep you soft. It never allows you to push forward. It never allows you to push past your limits. See, now, when you look at junk food now with that lens of like comfort, this has been making me weak this entire time. This little piece of donut, and this is why I don't have trouble refusing a single donut. Even though I know eating a donut is not going to do anything to me. But it's because I've been in so much pain because I used to eat so much, literally tubs of ice cream. Tubs of ice cream I used to eat. Tubs of ice cream. Like I would say like an entire chocolate tub of chocolate ice cream. Chocolate tub. Entire tub of chocolate ice cream. I used to munch on that. And then you wonder why, I was so depressed. You wonder why I used to look at myself in the mirror and hate my body, hate myself. So I never looked at junk food like the same ever again. So anyways, going back to school. How is this connected to school? How am I going to make this video? I don't know. But going back to school, this is a mindset, I guess, that you need to adopt for school. Right? You see, the good habits will become your friend. Discipline will become your friend. Staying on deen will become your friend. It'll become your friend when you seek it out. Imagine a drowning person and he's drowning. And he's drowning and he's about to die. What is the one thing he's going to seek out? He's going to seek out, forget a lifeguard. All he wants is like a little floaty. Something that can keep him afloat. Something like a life jacket. He needs something. Just something to keep him on the water instead of drowning. That's all he's asking for. Right? This is where me and you are. This is where my old self was 2 years ago. All I needed was just something to keep me afloat. I needed something to restart my life with. And the way you do that is to reframe your mindset and to find and to seek pleasure through discomfort. I know this sounds crazy, but you will seek pleasure through discomfort when you reframe your mind. Every single time you are going out for running, every single time you're going out to the gym, every single time you're pushing your body and your mind, every single time you sit down to study, and it's giving you real-time fulfillment. Why? Because now you're in control of your habits. Now you decide that you want to study because you want to be an academic weapon. Because now you're choosing excellence. Your mind is flipped. Now you're choosing long-term happiness, not short-term happiness. Isn't that freaking beautiful? When you are seeking happiness through real-time things, when you're seeking happiness through going to the gym, through Allah, through the deen. And I'm not the best at it. I'm not saying that I'm like not a sinner or anything. But isn't that amazing? When you can eat clean foods, but you actually want to eat clean food. Why do you want to eat clean food? Because of what it represents. It represents a top Muslim. It represents the best version of yourself. It represents a stronger version of yourself. It represents you being in the best shape of your life. When you look at studying, but this time, instead of running away from the work, you actually want to do the work. Like you literally set a routine, a time to work. Because this is the key to you being an academic weapon. This is the key to you being an A+ student. This is the key to you becoming the ultimate student. The student who's killing it in every part of his life or her life. You see how much of a difference that is? And I think this light's bothering you, bro. I'm sorry. My bad. So you see how much of a difference. Okay. You see how much of a difference that makes. That makes a massive difference. It makes a massive difference when you fully adopt a new lifestyle because you want to seek freedom through it. When you've been chained on your phone, when you've been just, because you know you're not feeling happy. Like, you don't feel happy. You don't feel fulfilled every single time you scroll. Your life gets worse every single time you scroll. You only lose more time every single time you scroll. You only get weaker every single time you scroll. It only makes your life worse. Imagine you scroll and you think, oh, I'm okay. Scrolling is fine. Now imagine you scrolled but for 12 hours straight. See how you feel then. Because I'm telling you, you're not going to feel good. You're just not going to feel good. In fact, you might hate your life. You're not going to scroll for 12 hours. This stuff makes your life worse every single time. Junk food makes your life worse every single time. Like, eat an entire tub of ice cream. Eat an entire basket of candy or cookies. Or eat an entire box of donuts. Or eat an entire 10 bags of chips at the same time right now as I'm speaking. Trust me, your addiction to it will go by in a second. Smoke 10 packs of cigarettes. Astaghfirullah. But smoke 10 packs of cigarettes right now, and you're gonna hate cigarettes because you're having a heart attack. Sometimes we just don't see the consequences of our issues fast enough. And that's the issue that you need to solve. So, the mindset with school this time. Back to school. I know I keep getting off topic, but the mindset of the school this time is to adopt this mindset. Okay? You need to seek happiness and fulfillment through Islam, and you improving every single day, and you pushing past your boundaries. Okay? So I recommend right now, set some pretty big goals. Set some pretty big goals and live the lifestyle of someone who would have those goals. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know what? Just copy me. Copy me. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Don't copy everything I freaking do. Okay, relax. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Like, but just, just copy the routine I do, because it's gonna be so much easier for you. Because that's my goal. My goal is to be the ultimate man I could be. My goal is to be the ultimate husband I could be, actually. Like, husband is a big part of my life. Like, I genuinely want to become a really good husband because I have a specific reason. The reason why I want to become a really good husband is so I can finally help the ummah a little bit, at least from what I can do. I want to bring, with the permission of Allah, the genders back to how it is. I want the woman to be woman, and I want the men to be men. And I'm not saying that I'm going to do it all by myself or anything, but at least for my family. Because I know that the Islamic marriage, how it's supposed to be through Quran and Sunnah. And I've done some studying on, the hukuk of the wife, like the rights of the wife, the rights of the husband, the rights of the kids. And I know the husbands are not husbands anymore. And I know the husbands feel the pain of not being a husband anymore. I know the men are not men anymore, and I know the men feel the pain of feeling weak. The men know, the ones that really know, that they are not how they are supposed to be. And the sisters, I guess they're gonna, the ones that don't know yet, they know the ones that really act like, oh, I'm this feminist boss babe woman, like, I know the sisters that watch my channel, most of them are not like that, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you, sisters. The sisters that watch my channel, may Allah bless you guys, and the brothers. But there's a lot of the Muslim ummah, they're going into the line of like, oh, like the sisters especially, like they're going like, there's a feminist approach, like the women are like the boss babes and stuff. And everyone that watches me knows that I'm fully against that. But like, oh, what I was gonna say, yeah, I want to sort of end that in it as well, like with my marriage and with the, inshallah ta'ala, the wife that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me. So yeah, like I really want to be an inspiration, or not just that, like I want to be the leader for my family, the father figure that the father figure that really is needed. the husband that is really needed, the husband that, like, when the wife looks at, like, our husband, a leader, someone who makes a decision, someone who's not scared, someone who's fearless, who only fears Allah, someone who's there for his wife, someone who's there emotionally and physically. Again, this is the perfect story. I'm not gonna be perfect, but as close to it as possible. Like, I genuinely take this to heart. I genuinely take this to heart because I have a big pain of, I have a big personal pain of, like, being a weak man and being feminine, very feminine, and how people are treated there. So I want to be the most masculine version of myself. So yeah, that's one of my other goals as well. But I don't know how this goes back to, relates back to school, but hey, that looks better, right? That looks better. So I don't know how this relates back to school, but I guess the goal is, that's the goal. But have this mindset. Have this mindset, and inshallah ta'ala, may the ummah get better. May the ummah become the best it's ever been. And other than that, enough yapping on my side. I love you for the sake of Allah. And I'm going to see you very soon, inshallah. Alright, assalamu alaikum. Follow me on Instagram. I love you.